Had to not like each other for a bit.
You had to not like me, which
True.
came easy.
Joel, I think I found something.
Whoa!
What?
Oh, nothing. It's just, your forehead seems bigger than last season.
The Last of Us Season 2 is out. Episode 4 is the latest, and it is bombing.
We made a deal to tell this story, and we're telling this story.
The Last of Us was plagued by complaints of bad casting.
Show is finally speaking out about its failure. The Last of Us creator Craig Mazin admits Season 2 was a fake finale, drew over 50% less than the finale of Season 1. You lost...
Henny! Oh my goodness, Joel! What do I do?
Jesus!
Joel, focus!
Again?
Joel!
Okay, I guess just use your telekinesis?
I don't have telekinesis, Joel!
I don't believe you! Look at the size of that thing! Just try, Ellie, please! Clown cranium! Yeah!
For some reason, they made the decision for The Last of Us Season 2 to make Ellie dumb, to the point where she even says that she's stupid. Why?
Yes, maybe we can prop it open with something and you can slide...
Whoa! Oh my god, what?
Is it getting bigger?
Stop it.
No, seriously, what's with that?
It's fine, Joel.
Does it hurt?
Joel, please. You're making me self-conscious.
I'm sorry, it's just a little bit startling.
It's a normal head, Joel. Can we just get back to the door thing?
It's planetary.
Leave it.
It's gonna have its own area code soon.
I'm sorry. That was acting. That's what that was. I don't really care what happens with this movie. I really hope her career is pretty much over. I'd be thrilled to see that. I can't imagine. I mean,
Like most people, I liked the first season. I thought they did a great job. Season 2, I was skeptical on them not recasting Ellie and keeping Bella Ramsey as Ellie because it's supposed to take place 5 years into the future, but obviously Bella Ramsey in real life was not going to age that much in, the 2 years it took between seasons. So in the show, Ellie still looks exactly the same, but is supposed to be 5 years older. Also, Ellie still acts exactly the same.
Up your impression at all, or is it pretty much the same?
Well, the noise is the same. I've not got any more noises in my back. The new infected are pretty terrifying. They're so smart, and they haven't really got a noise. That's the whole point of them. They're silent and terrifying.
Ooh, give us a little silent and terrifying.
Pedro Pascal has always been known as one of the most composed actors in Hollywood. Humble, talented, and highly respected by fans and peers alike. But even Pedro has his limits. And when Season 2 of The Last of Us aired, it became clear that he was done holding back. Behind the scenes, it wasn't just tension brewing, it was full-on frustration. After standing by Bella Ramsey through the ups and downs of Season 1, Pedro finally broke his silence. Not through interviews or press releases, but through what insiders are now describing as clear mockery behind closed doors. From crew comments to leaked set stories, the truth is out. Pedro Pascal, once Bella Ramsey's biggest supporter, couldn't believe how far things had fallen. And he wasn't quiet about it either. Season 2 of The Last of Us was supposed to be even bigger than the first. Higher budget, bigger emotional stakes, more screen time for Ellie. Bella Ramsey had the spotlight and she fumbled it. While the show's production value remained top tier, her acting didn't keep pace. On set, Pedro reportedly grew increasingly annoyed. Sources say Bella's delivery became inconsistent, overacting emotional scenes and completely under-delivering in others. The tone shifts didn't feel earned. One crew member described her scenes as hit or miss, mostly miss. Pedro, who poured his heart into every frame, reportedly began making sarcastic comments between takes. Should we do another take, or is that the artistic version again? He joked after one particularly awkward scene. At first, the crew laughed nervously, but over time, Pedro's tone became sharper. He started calling certain moments Bella specials, referring to scenes where her performance veered into cringeworthy territory. The nickname stuck. And the worst part, Bella didn't seem to notice. Or worse, she did notice and didn't care. It wasn't just private eye rolls anymore. Pedro began sharing his frustration with department heads, script supervisors, and even some producers. "We're carrying dead weight," he allegedly told one crew member after a scene took hours longer to shoot because Bella kept improvising lines that didn't land. In one incident, a serious emotional exchange between Joel and Ellie took a bizarre turn when Bella decided to play it quirky instead of sincere. The result? A reshoot that cost the production thousands, where he Pedro, exhausted and over it, joked to the director, "Maybe next time we get a real Ellie." That comment traveled fast. Within days, people across departments were whispering that Pedro was finally done pretending Bella's performance was acceptable. His patience, once legendary, had clearly run out. The mood on set changed. What used to be light and collaborative became icy. Pedro stopped rehearsing scenes with Bella unless required. When they were together, he reportedly kept interactions short, only speaking to her in character and rarely engaging once cameras stopped rolling. Other actors noticed. One co-star said you could feel the chill. Pedro wasn't rude, but he wasn't warm anymore either. Something had shifted, rehearsals became uncomfortable. Directors had to step in more often to redirect Bella or calm Pedro down when he grew visibly irritated. During one late shoot, Bella stumbled through a monologue and Pedro, under his breath, muttered, "This again?" Perhaps the most surprising detail from insiders is how Pedro began mocking Bella's performance when she wasn't around. In conversations with trusted crew, he would mimic her exaggerated facial expressions or repeat some of her lines in a deliberately flat tone. "It was funny," said one crew member, but also kind of sad. You could tell he didn't hate her, he just hated what the show had become. Pedro allegedly once reenacted a scene where Bella shouted at an infected character, delivering the lines in a high-pitched, whiny voice that made everyone burst out laughing. Another time he walked past a playback monitor, heard Bella's voice in a serious scene and said, "Ah yes, Oscar-worthy." It was harsh, but to those on set, it felt justified. As things escalated, people on set began taking sides, and most were on Pedro's. Makeup artists, camera operators, stunt coordinators, they all saw the difference in dedication. Pedro memorized blocking, asked for retakes, and offered script suggestions to improve flow. Bella? She was reportedly distracted, unfocused, and often took the role less seriously. At lunch, Pedro sat with producers or read his scripts in silence. Bella, meanwhile, made TikToks or joked with assistants. The vibe wasn't collaborative anymore, it was fragmented, and while no one openly said it, everyone knew the truth. The Last of Us had become a one-man show. Pedro was doing everything he could to salvage the heart of it, while Bella seemed more interested in meme culture than the narrative weight of the story. The tension didn't stay on set. Pedro reportedly had private conversations with HBO executives about the direction of the show and Bella's role in it. He didn't demand her removal, but he made it clear that her performance was hurting the integrity of the story. One executive summarized it like this: "Pedro didn't yell or throw a fit. He just asked us, 'Do you think this version of Ellie connects with the audience?' It was a fair question, and it sparked internal debate. HBO was in a tough spot. Bella was under contract. Publicly, she had defenders. But behind the scenes, viewership analytics showed that fans were connecting more with Pedro's scenes and skipping over many of Bella's solo moments. Engagement dropped, social media buzz dwindled, fans were losing interest. The clearest sign of all came when season 2 wrapped and Pedro noticeably reduced his promotion of the show. He skipped interviews, declined panels, barely mentioned the season on social media. It didn't go unnoticed. Fans asked, "Where's Pedro?" on every promotional post. Rumors spread, and eventually, journalists started asking HBO directly why the show's biggest star wasn't doing press. The network dodged the question, but everyone knew. Pedro was distancing himself from Bella's performance. As news of Pedro's frustration leaked, Bella tried to play it cool. She posted vague messages online, things like "some people can't handle change and the real ones know what matters." But fans weren't buying it. Comment sections flooded with people defending Pedro, calling him the true heart of the show and criticizing Bella for making season 2 feel like a parody of what came before. Some fan compilations even edited together Bella's awkward scenes alongside Pedro's emotional monologues to show the dramatic contrast. The side-by-side comparisons were brutal. One video titled "Pedro Pascal Acting Alone" racked up millions of views. In Hollywood, word travels fast, and Bella's reputation started to change. Casting directors began passing on her for major roles. Executives questioned whether she could carry future projects. Even her PR team reportedly recommended she take a break from press appearances. Pedro, on the other hand, remained untouched. His performance in season 2 was praised even more because he managed to shine despite the chaos around him. Critics wrote that he anchored a sinking ship with quiet strength. One outlet said, Pedro Pascal deserves an award just for surviving that season. Pedro never gave an official statement about Bella's season 2 performance. He didn't need to. His silence, his withdrawal, and his unmistakable sarcasm behind the scenes painted a clear picture. In private, he's reportedly told close friends that The Last of Us was the most rewarding and the most disappointing project of his career. Rewarding because of the story, disappointing because of what it turned into. And as season 2 faded from the spotlight, so did Bella Ramsey. What was once hailed as one of TV's greatest casting duos collapsed under pressure. Pedro Pascal gave everything to The Last of Us. Bella Ramsey gave something else entirely. And when the cameras stopped rolling, Pedro made it clear he wasn't going to pretend anymore. The story of Joel and Ellie might be over, but the legacy lives on. And while fans will always remember Pedro's performance, Bella's contribution might become the punchline to a cautionary tale Hollywood won't soon forget.